ICE is actively turning Chicago into a war zone-like atmosphere, as over the past several days, and especially over the past 24 hours, we're now learning that ICE is using military gear, military tactics, and even chemical agents against American citizens and non-citizens alike. We've known for a long time over the past week that ICE has used Black Hawk helicopters to storm into Southside Chicago, targeting apartment buildings, ripping children from their families, zip tying children. You've heard those stories. But we're now learning that it's even worse than we thought originally, because ICE has used chemical agents through tear gas and other methods against American citizens and non-citizens alike. And it comes as Donald Trump is actively trying to send in the United States military into Chicago as well. Now, today, Governor J.B. Pritzker filed a lawsuit saying that Donald Trump's mobilization, federalization of the National Guard is unconstitutional, modeling the lawsuits filed by California Governor Gavin Newsom and Oregon Governor Tina Kotek in the past several days. Those lawsuits have successfully blocked the administration from sending in the Guard to Portland. But right now, J.B. Pritzker wants to do the same in Chicago. And while Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, is actively criticizing the judges that are blocking Donald Trump's attempts to militarize the military against American citizens, saying that Judge Karen Immergut, who is a Trump appointee, is, quote, untethered in reality, after the judge blocked the administration from sending any member of the National Guard to Portland. She also went on to criticize Politico and media for portraying Trump as, quote, trying to take over American cities with the military, rejecting that framing of his deployment plans, even though, folks, that's exactly what's happening here. The United States military is actively being sent against American citizens, and there is nothing that really that the White House can do to change that narrative, because it's the truth. The truth is that over 400 members of the Texas National Guard were mobilized overnight to send to Portland, Chicago, and elsewhere. The truth is 300 members of the Illinois National Guard have been mobilized to be sent to Chicago as well. And the truth is that federal judges are blocking the Trump administration's deployment efforts, but it hasn't stopped them from trying to circumvent the law, circumvent these court orders, and send in the National Guard regardless. Now, before I continue, please consider subscribing to support my work today or sending a one-time donation via Venmo to Aaron-Parnas. And it comes as Broadview Police Chief Thomas Mills has made a stunning accusation, accusing ICE agents in the city of making false 911 calls in an effort to waste local police resources, saying that his department is actively investigating multiple incidences at the Broadview Immigration Detention Facility, including agents allegedly assaulting journalists and firing a pepper ball at protesters. But here's the thing. If this is true, if it's confirmed, then ICE would be using local police resources that are meant to keep the streets safe, communities safe, and instead doing fake 911 calls to divert local police attention. That is a significant story. That is a bombshell story. And it comes as ICE is actively weaponizing the streets of Chicago. And in other news, we're learning this afternoon that the Trump administration is moving closer to indicting Letitia James, the New York Attorney General, on mortgage fraud-related charges. But there's a key but here. And that senior prosecutor, a senior career federal prosecutor, is refusing to charge Letitia James. According to MSNBC reporting this afternoon, a top prosecutor in Virginia has informed fellow colleagues that she will decline to seek charges against New York Attorney General Letitia James, despite intense pressure from Donald Trump and the White House. Now, what we don't know, however, is the reaction of Lindsay Halligan, the acting U.S. attorney in the district. Because here's the thing. If Donald Trump wants Letitia James indicted, he will get that indictment. He will just have to fire these career prosecutors who refuse to do so, because indicting Letitia James would run contrary to longstanding law and DOJ policy. Meanwhile, we're now almost 1 week into a government shutdown. There is no signs that the government is going to reopen soon. But the White House is now warning that if Democrats don't agree to reopen the government tonight, then federal workers will miss their next paycheck. Their next paycheck comes October 15th. And Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is now warning that if shutdown persists into next Sunday, then U.S. air traffic control safety will begin to be impacted. As someone who has a flight on Monday, that's not great. But on a serious note, air traffic controllers are considered to be essential employees, which means that they have to work even when there's a government shutdown. They will not get paid. They have not gotten paid during the past several days, and they will miss a paycheck, according to the White House, if the government remains closed past tonight, which is all but certain. But here's the thing. If you look back to the first government shutdown under Trump 1, that shutdown lasted about 35 days. The primary reason that shutdown ended was because air traffic controllers threatened to literally walk off the jobs if they did not receive a paycheck. And so we could see potentially something similar happen here again. Today, the United States Supreme Court rejected Ghislaine Maxwell's appeal of her sex trafficking conviction, leaving intact her 20-year sentence for recruiting and grooming underage teenage girls abused by Jeffrey Epstein. Paramount Skydance has acquired Barry Weiss's The Free Press and named her editor-in-chief of CBS News, marking a major shakeup in the network's leadership as Weiss now vows to bring, quote, fearless independent journalism and broaden CBS's ideological range under the newly merged media giant. Chapter 7 bankruptcies have risen 15% among individuals in the first 9 months of 2025. 10 migrants deported from the United States arrived in Eswatini under a secretive Trump administration deal, sending migrants to African nations, part of a program that has been condemned by rights groups for detaining deportees, including non-Africans, in harsh conditions without due process. AMD has signed a multi-year AI chip supply deal with OpenAI worth tens of billions of dollars annually, giving the ChatGPT maker the option to buy up to 10% of AMD, a landmark partnership set to challenge NVIDIA's dominance and reshape the AI hardware landscape starting in 2026. And finally, Mattel unveiled a one-of-a-kind Barbie modeled after U.S. Rugby Olympian Ilona Maher, featuring a new muscular body sculpt to reflect the build of many strong athletes as part of its Team Barbie launch ahead of International Day of the Girl on October 11, 2025, later this week. As always, that's all the news right now. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, share to support my work, and I will see you in the morning with another update. Hey folks, Aaron Parnas here. Thank you so much for watching The Parnas Perspective. Please consider subscribing to support our work as we grow this independent news media entity into something that rivals mainstream every single day. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.